Hi everybody, hope you're really well. We're thinking about surprise today in our Words of Hope series, but I really want us to think about the word readiness as well. 7 years ago now, picture the scene if you can, I was sprinting through the dark in the pouring rain towards the hospital around the corner from where we lived in Birmingham. My wife had just gone into labour with our second child. When I got there, she was just on her own in this room. I remember screaming out, "Please, somebody help! My wife's having a baby. I don't know what to do." Thankfully, a nurse arrived, but they were just changing shifts. There was no time to move Cecily to another floor to the delivery ward where she should have been ideally, and the baby just came right there and then. It was so quick, so sudden. Thankfully, all was well. But that's an image that's at the heart, really, of this passage today, of suddenness and surprise, this day of the Lord that is still to come when Jesus returns will come so quickly. Don't be taken by surprise. Not because we have some insider information to this date and time, but because, in fact, we should always be living in readiness. And the image that's such a fabulous one in the passage is to put on your armour. And here I'm going to do just that. I've got my breastplate. The passage talks about that. I've got a bit more armour here. And here's my helmet that the passage talks about. Whoops! There we go. Try and get that out of the way up there. A bit more of my armour here. And I'm good to go? Kind of. Faith and love, the breastplate, hope of salvation as a helmet. Struggling to keep this armour on in a way because it's a bit broken at the side here. If I hold up this shield, you can see in this breastplate, you can see how kind of bent out of shape they are. The sword, it quickly comes a little bit apart at the handle because this actual armour has seen a lot of battles in our house, as you can imagine. But I think all of our armour should look a bit like this, battered and bruised, and perhaps needing a bit of repair here and there, but that's because it's seen a lot of action. It's been in many battles, but it's been doing its job. That's the kind of armour we're talking about here. Faith and deep love and amazing eternal hope that equips us for the struggles of life. We're not kept out of the battlefield of life, are we, as God's people? But we are given the armour to stand strong and firm through life's struggles. So put on the armour of God. I once heard someone talk about this and said we should daily do that. And I thought that was a great thought. But actually, I'd want to encourage us not to daily put it on because we should never be taking it off. Let's encourage one another to always keep the armour on. One final thing that this passage talks about, just to quickly chuck in there today, and that is encourage one another and build each other up. I want to give us a practical task, if I may, today. Who could you encourage? Who could you call? Who could you message? Who could you meet up with? Have you got a moment, bit of time to do that today? Maybe take just a brief moment now, say a prayer, ask God to give you a name, and then go for it. Have a great day. Be ready.